Hi Virgo, this is your March 2019 horoscope with me, Lada from astrolada.com. For anyone who has their sun, moon, or rising in Virgo. And I've also prepared for you one of my best and most quality projects, which is 250 page slides for written predictions for March 2019. All 12 signs are included. It's just $7.99. It's almost basically a whole book. It's very beautifully done with a lot of astrological information. It's almost like a textbook with using ancient and modern techniques with lots of tables, day by day predictions for all 12 signs, each of the 12 signs as well. So you can check it out. And also, we're doing a webinar with Victor on the 3rd or 2nd of March, which is 30% off on predictive techniques. And they are ancient predictive techniques using perfections and solar return charts, which are apparently the most amazingly correct uh, ones. I'm gonna learn them as well from Victor. I'm very excited because I've never had such a response from clients as from him. Every day I get 10 emails from his clients who say, "This is unbelievable. How is he able to see those things with such precision to the month and the year that happened in my life in the past and in the future?" So he's going to demonstrate. Apparently, it's an easy technique that is rarely used in modern astrology nowadays, if at all. And he's going to demonstrate it for us. I'm very excited. So take your seat. And also, if you want to know your own personal transits, Virgo, basically, no one else in the world has the same transits as you. If you know your time of birth and your year, no one else has the same horoscope as you. And I've developed this transit calculator calendar for you, basically, which shows you for free 7 days ahead. And we have about 16,000 subscribers currently. Only two have asked to unsubscribe. Imagine that's like 0.01%, 111%. Basically, it's so successful. People saying it's changing their life and their perspective and on the world, and it's making them see that the universe is actually a living, breathing organism. It's a mind changing, life changing experience to observe your transits and to know that how specific it is. I mean, like I'm publishing on my Facebook daily and I show, like it says on my transits, and I might have 10 transits per day or three or four. It says you might cut yourself, and I even show it. And I show my hand is cut, or you can burn yourself. My daughter burned her hands on the day it said you can burn yourself, or you can get or you can get a gift from someone, and it's all those things. Like it's amazing how exact it is. So check it out. But now let's get to Mercury. Let's see your month, March. I think it's going to be a very eventful month for you, Gemini. Sorry, um, Virgos. And yeah, there will be a lot of mistakes that are happening like that because Mercury, the planet that rules you, and the planet that's also a stickler for details and correctness and proper grammar and things to be done correctly to the letter, well, it's going to be a bit compromised, that Mercury, because it's retrograde and it's going to be conjunct Neptune, which is the planet of mistakes and confusion. And so you might see a lot, and Mercury is you. So you might find yourself making a lot of mistakes when you're talking, or even when you're sending emails, or sending the right email or the wrong one, or just confusing stuff, displacing keys and documents and possessions, or tablets and phones and stuff. It's more likely to happen. Neptune makes us more forgetful about the details as well, or omitting them. And also Jupiter is another planet that is making hard aspect to Mercury, the planet of details. So Jupiter again creates its 90-degree aspect. Jupiter creates omission of detail, the same thing. So it will. So this kind of, it's more likely this month to feel like you've kind of you have like a brain fog a little bit at certain moments, and to feel that you're being misunderstood. You say something, especially by others, because Mercury is in your seventh house of other people. So you say something to others, and they hear something different than what you tell them, or they misrepresent it and they go and say something else. It's like a broken phone. You say something, they say something else. Or you might write an email to someone and put an exclamation mark and they think you're shouting at them, and something can escalate from there. So you have to be more careful in your communication, especially with partners, with clients, business or personal, with your marriage partner as well. Also, some things from the past may come back to be renegotiated, to be um, talked about with you and partner. Something from the past that was forgotten or that was hidden can emerge now. Mercury Neptune means something forgotten or something hidden. And something that the partner was hiding or you are hiding can now escalate and bubble to the surface and requires to be addressed. So the rules of your relationships are re-examined now. Who the rules and the agreements, whose role is what is expected from me, from you. So there is basically re-examination of your relationships, whether personal or business. For some person might be married and have business partners or someone they collaborate with, it might not affect them in the relationship at all personal, but it might affect them on the business one. Another person is the opposite, but there might be also, if you're signing some contracts, they might be delayed, there might be some omissions, some mistakes that have to be re-examined as well. Or if your Jupiter is in the fourth house, property, if you're doing something in regards to property, uh, whether it's like you're redecorating or whether you're selling or buying, be careful, because now this month it's indicative that you might have to either redo something again, before you can sell or buy the property. You have to readdress some contract. It might be delayed, or it might be, there might be a surprise there that doesn't go according to expectations. Something you are not aware of might come up, or the selling partner, or the person you're selling to, whether it's property or whatever it is. Seventh house is all kinds of clients and contracts and agreements. But I mentioned property because Jupiter from the fourth is involved, so for some of you it might involve that. But all kind of agreements and contracts. There might be some missing information or something that you are not aware of. Or maybe something was overpromised and misrepresented to a partner, or maybe you might have done it, or usually the other person, because it's in your seventh house. But it's Mercury involved, and Mercury is you, so it can go either way. You maybe overpromise something, you can't deliver it to the client now, so you have to retract your promise and go over and fix things. Or maybe something was going to go through, like a negotiation, business agreement, something, and it has to be re-examined and it has to be reevaluated. And any kind of collaborations, you there's possibility for misunderstanding and the need to be reworked in some way. And if they cannot be reworked, they might have to be eliminated as well. But I want to tell you that the final result will be quite beneficial, because at the same time Jupiter and Mercury both in mutable signs for the whole month is creating a very manifesting yoga. It's according to ancient astrology knowledge called Gemini astrology. I'm not going to explain to you how it's done, but basically when Jupiter and Mercury are both in mutable signs, they manifest those mutable signs in triple weight in a positive way. So yes, there will be some complications, some aggravations there that you have to work on, some delays with relationships, with contracts, with agreements, with relationships with clients and stuff like that, renegotiations, something that was not known that is brought to the surface, that you speak with a partner, something that's discovered secretive, whatever. But the final outcome is that Jupiter and Mercury are manifesting the seventh house and the fourth house. So, despite of some of the extra effort that is required this month, it can lead to a successful agreement. It can lead to a successful relationship, even to improvement of a relationship. It can lead, and sometimes even it can lead to, because Mercury is retrograde, an old relationship coming back, being re-examined, being looked at, and actually making it happen now. An old business partnership coming, and or old clients coming and being reinstated and being re uh, re done, whatever. So some of you might hear from an old partner, or something like that, uh, or an old close person. But ultimately, because of the positive influence of Jupiter and Neptune, because this other technique I'm telling you about, the Gemini ancient astrology technique, it's about the specific things that are happening. This is the Western one is more psychological. The other one is the background. So what's eventually is going to happen is that's going to be good for relationship. It can manifest a good partnership agreement, a better one eventually. It's going to manifest a better property or place of living if that's what you're doing, and better conditions of home or living environment, even if you have to rework it in March. But eventually, but even within March, it already manifests good stuff in regards to that. And even in regards to your career, because the 10th house is activated and the first as well. So these things can lead to better reputation, better career, better opportunities in those areas. So you can manifest with property, with relationships, with career, guys. Uh, Interestingly enough, despite the Mercury retrograde. So, there's other layers of astrology. And not only that, but uh, you have Mars, no, Saturn here transiting in the fifth house, and Saturn is making a sextile to this Mercury. So stabilizing influence, your children can be stabilizing through whatever it's happening, or some kind of hobby that can be grounding for you, some kind of uh, uh, you can even find a lot of pleasure, fifth house, so enjoyment in working Saturn this month. That helps you ground whatever is happening there, and maybe you can do something with your partner, seventh house, that uh, your children can help, for example, Saturn in the fifth house, or a romantic partner uh, can also help stabilize certain situation in your life. And Mars is in your ninth house, also sending sextiles to Mercury and Neptune. So even if there's some issues in the relationships or partnerships or agreement, you can receive very good advice from someone. Mars in the ninth house's advice, how to act, you know. And also a trip can happen that can alleviate the pressure of a relationship, or that can improve a relationship of some sort. Some romantic uh, putting effort in some romantic in planning and organizing some romantic outing as well. Saturn the fifth house can lead, or some hobby or something entertaining to do, but you have to put a bit more effort into it, which is Saturn, to organize it, which can lead to stabilizing a relationships. Or if it's about business relationships we're talking here, if you want to stabilize them because of those more difficult influences this month, uh, what you can do is some kind of a promotion, Mars from the 10th house, uh, and also you can do some kind of a gift, Saturn from the fifth house, some kind of entertaining gift of some sort as well. And I don't know. I can't really think there's so many possible combinations. Anyway, and another thing is that you have Venus in Aquarius in your sixth house. That is good. Here it is. Venus is here. So that's wherever Venus goes, it tends to make this area of our life easier. So it can improve some health problem, for example. Venus can soothe it. Venus is a healing planet. It can also help you find comfort in some certain routines and things that you do repetitively on a daily level. So keeping your daily routines and daily activities and order around, even cleaning, putting order and cleaning can actually cause you some pleasure. And since my Virgo is my relocated ascendant, I started wondering now, what am I going to be doing in March? And so what gives you back into more chilled and actually calm and feeling more peace and harmony mode is this Venus in the sixth house. Put things in order, arrange, organize. You can even receive help in regards to organizing, arranging something, in regards to folding and cleaning, or such kind of errands at home of some sort. uh, and as I said, health is usually tends to improve around that time, and you even start enjoying those routines, and you can do with pleasure and enjoyment. You can enjoy if you're doing something for your health, for example, not eating certain foods or restraining from drinking or whatever. You can enjoy this process more now. But there is another thing. Venus transiting the sixth house can increase cravings for sugar. It's known thing because sixth house also rules addictions, and Venus there can increase this kind of craving. So that's one thing to be more careful with. Maybe increase more the fruit rather than the bad sugar. And don't you go telling me that fruit is bad for you. Uh, I'm gonna fucking argue with people that tell me that because there be some comments that fruit is bad for you. Oh. Fruit joined with fat and with other things is bad for you. But fruit is what humans are meant to eat. And fruit is what our body, we're fruitarians. Our body is not herbivore. Our structure is not the same as herbivores, is not the same as meat eaters, carnivores. It's made for fruits. That's why we see color as well. Only animals that eat plants usually see color, that eat, fruit. So they can see the fruit and recognize it. So that's a good thing. Fruits are, don't eliminate them from your diet, guys. You're making a big mistake. Even if you're diabetic, diabetics can be healed with fruit only. But because we eat a lot of other things, then fruit becomes harmful because the fruit combined with fats and stuff like that becomes harmful. But the best thing you can do for your body is a fruit fast, maybe have a day or two at a time. Anyway, I don't want to go into that because I feel very passionate about that. I have Rahu transiting my sixth house. I'm willing to go into a fight with people for that. And anyway, going back to your horoscope, yes, Saturn, Venus transiting the sixth house, becoming kind of focusing on diet and health and things like that can become like a great sense of source of joy and um, pleasure for you and retreat from daily stresses. Anyway, so yes, very active month as we said before that. Hopefully that guidance was helpful for you. If you want to know your transits day by day, you can check the free transit calendar on my chart on my birth on my website astrology.com, and also if you want to have the 250 page astrological guide for March, you can get it from the link below. Thank you.